What is up, Facebook? It's Tuesday. It's a little after 12 o'clock. It is time for the most exhilarating, electrifying, entertaining daytime cooking show on the internet right now. It is time for Lunch Break, brought to you by recteq, powered by Kingsford. It is barbecue week all week long here at recteq. That means we're bringing you our very best barbecue recipes to keep your year just rolling along right. Without any further ado, I'm going to throw it over to my main man, your master chef, Greg Muller.
What's up, recteq family? I'm Chef Greg, your director of culinary Start that over again. What's up, recteq family? I'm Chef Greg, your director of culinary innovation. It's been a long day here so far. We've done some video spots, some voiceovers, some maybe, product, testing, teasing. I don't know. You got to stay tuned to find out. But appreciate you guys joining us here for lunch break. It's going to be a good one. Back to basics week.
That's
Simple
right.
recipes. Okay, we're doing a delicious pork butt today. Jody did some slamming chicken wings.
Mm-hmm.
Now, John, we were on the highway driving back yesterday, so I apologize.
Yeah.
I did miss Backyard and Beyond.
Oh, man, it's okay.
What you cook, man?
What did we do for Backyard and Beyond, Sherp? I don't even. Yeah, I did asparagus and pork chops, barbecue pork chops. Chef Greg, they were so good.
Pork chops. So usually I kind of tune into that like the next morning sometimes, like late night munchies.
Yeah.
But we kind of slept in a little bit this morning.
How was your trip, Chef Greg?
You know what? It was interesting.
Yeah.
We were up in Sugar Mountain.
Okay.
We went to go skiing. They really weren't following very well on the protocols. You know, their whole 60% occupancy, call shenanigans. But a power outage kind of backed things up. No lifts. It's kind of hard to go skiing with no lifts. But what I really need is someone in, like, Colorado just to adopt our family.
I heard that.
Just let us know. We'll come up and visit. I'll cook. Okay? I'll even do the dishes.
Hey, if you find someone, I'll go with you, Chef Greg. I'll be your sous chef.
So if you guys have a nice house on the mountain somewhere where we can go skiing on some real snow, okay, Chef John and I will come up. We'll cook, a nice dinner for you and your family. Just let us know.
Just let us know.
I'm good with that. I mean, we'll. It might be a little long to drive. We probably have to fly to Colorado.
Definitely.
That might be, a 16-hour drive.
Yeah,
maybe?
we'll just ask Ray if we can borrow the jet.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
But we skied for half a day. It was all right. It was good. Playing the ping pong challenge was way better that next night. Undefeated. Undefeated. Reigning ski champ ping pong right here. It was great. Good times. But I can't wait to get back cooking with you guys. We got a pork butt here. I'm a huge fan of big booties. I like big butts.
Okay.
Pork butts, that is.
Okay.
Because Sir Mix-a-Lot didn't release that one song because it was about pork butts. Okay? You got to have a 10-pound pork butt. Bone-in pork butt. I like them big. Why? One, you get more bang for your buck on the meat. Two, okay, if you buy a 5-pound pork butt, I guarantee they cut it in half. Not a fan of that because you don't know what half you're going to get. And there is a better half to the pork butt.
Now, where's the best place to get your pork butts from, Chef Greg?
For commodity pork, I tend to do a lot of big box stores. So I'm a big Costco, Sam's kind of guy. You can pick them up at Kroger and that sort of stuff. But for me, I like good commodity pork. So bang for your buck. I mean, they're under $1 a pound. This is a beautiful looking pork butt right here. Okay. I like to kind of dry it off so it's not slippery. Stick it in the freezer for about 30 minutes before you cook it. That way that fat's good and hard. And but yeah, so the pork butt, Sherpa. Not actually the butt at all, okay? Sherpa, you know where the pork butt comes from? God, he's genius. The guy comes to like 5 recteq academies, and he's a genius.
He is.
So the pork butt is actually part of the shoulder. So the pig, if I'm, front legs, you've got your pork butt, which is the shoulder, then your picnic, which is just further south. So if you can't find a pork butt, but you can find a pork picnic, it'll still make great pulled pork, okay? But again, this is a bone-in. So again, there's going to be your bone. On opposite the bone is this little muscle right here called the money muscle. And you can see how marbled that is. That right there wins more money in barbecue than any other piece of meat on the pig.
That's right.
That's the good right here, okay? There's also a little bit of bonage right here. We'll cut that off. But for me, when I cook a 10-pound pork butt, I'm cooking right about, 12 to 14 hours for a low and slow, about 5.5 hours for a hot and fast.
Okay. I like that. Now,
God,
what's the difference between low and slow and hot and fast,
we just
Greg?
glaze right over there. You can cook pork butt in 6 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. And we're going to show you. Okay? But for trimming a pork butt, I'm going to make sure there's no bones. Cut that off. If there's any big gobs of fat, okay, you're not going to eat it. You're not going to need it. Okay? Look, I'm going to expose that money muscle right there a little bit. Like, that's the good. Nice sharp knife. Get it good and cold. Okay?
That's right.
So a lot of people, when they do pulled pork, they just throw a bunch of rub on the top, and then when it's time to pull the pork, they throw it all out because what do? That fat cap right there, okay? They put all their rub on there, and then they throw it out because they don't want to eat it. Not this guy. I'll take, and you can kind of reach underneath. See how thick that is, Sherpa? That's greater than a 1/4 inch thick. You're not going to get smoke to penetrate fat that thick.
That's a good tip.
It's just not going to happen, okay? And we're going to cook this on the Bullseye because a lot of people out there have asked how I smoke on the Bullseye. Now, this meat here, this fat here, what I do is I strip it up, I put it in the freezer,
Okay.
and then when I make grind venison or sausage, I throw that in there. Okay, I'm going to get rid of the bone. But that way I can add that fat into other leaner ground meats. And again, this is going to be that bacon on the pork. But we're just going to take that fat cap off. Okay? Don't worry. See, if there's something ugly under there, you can cut that off.
And everybody knows somebody that loves pork butt, Chef Greg. So let's all share this video. 3, 2, 1. Smash it!
So in addition to this fantastic recipe showing to you guys right now, you can also find this on the new recipe section found at recteq.com. We've revamped the recipe section on the website.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, shout out to that whole crew team working on the website. Y'all are doing an awesome job.
Killing it up there. Okay? Is this a necessary step? No. Is it a step I take when I cook pulled pork? Yes. Okay? It doesn't matter if I'm doing 4 butts, 5 butts, 20 butts, 1 butt. I always cut the fat cap off.
All right,
okay?
Chef Greg, we have a question from top fan Dennis Vassbinder.
Yeah, buddy.
He asked, what's the difference between a Boston butt and a pork butt?
Absolutely not. There is no difference whatsoever. They are the exact same piece of meat. A lot of them, they're just marketing terms. So up in the Northeast, they used to cook a lot of these, hence the name Boston butt. But a Boston butt is a pork shoulder. Same exact. Typically, the pork shoulder might be the butt and the picnic attached. But again, it just depends on what your butcher is doing. So for me, all this gobbledygoo, I tend to remove. I remove it. And this is maybe, 4 or 5 ounces, 6 ounces. It's not a lot. Okay? That's it. That's all you got to do. Don't throw that out. Save that for, a good rainy day. Here's your pork butt. That's it. That's simple. Actually, I am going to take out that chunk of gobbledygoo right there.
Now, Chef Greg, what's the difference if you're doing a bone-in as opposed to a bone-out?
I love cooking bone-in butts. I think that bone insulates the cook. It'll pull some heat into the meat. I think it cooks a little more evenly, a little bit quicker. Bone-out pieces of meat, sometimes when they do it, they cut it open, they butterfly it, and I don't find they cook as even. So for me, I'm a bone-in kind of guy. And again, you can see this money muscle right here. It almost looks like a pork loin. That right there is what wins the money. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You can cut those into coins. That's the good right there. And this for a commodity pork butt, I mean, that's a pretty good looking butt right there. So now we are going to rub this down. We're going to put a binder on it. And there's a lot of folks out there, and I know, Chef John, you get these questions too.
Yeah.
Why do I use a binder?
Let them know, Chef Greg.
Okay? Because again, this is a nice moist piece of meat, okay? But adding that liquid on the outside is going to help have that seasoning just stick on it like glue. Additionally, we're going to use a little molasses, and this is going to get a darker, deeper bark quicker because all that sugar is going to caramelize and get happy. So I'm going to take some molasses and some yellow mustard. And the best tool that God gave you, according to Chef John, is your hands.
That's right.
So we're going to get in there, we're going to mix up, and we're going to make this sort of molassesy mustard mixture right here, okay? And we're just going to take this and kind of just rub all over the top.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you can see this color from that molasses is already going to give us a slamming. And you don't need a lot. If you don't like mustard, don't worry about it. I don't like mustard either, okay? I don't. I despise yellow mustard, even on hot dogs.
I don't even know how you hate yellow mustard like that, Chef Greg.
I'm just not a fan of yellow mustard. All right, so we're going to season this up, Sherps, with some Casanova's Competition Rub and a little bit of that Rossaruski's Honey Rib Rub. Now, this is an easy recipe, okay? It's not going to get any easier than this, guys, okay? But I am going to take a little housekeeping here.
There you go.
And clean some stuff up. All right, so I like to put the Casanovas on the bottom. Why, you ask, Chef John?
Yes.
The savoriness underneath, okay? Now, you see how it's kind of, you can see the seasoning on the butt? Just be patient, okay? It's going to dissolve in, it's going to soak in, okay? That binder is literally going to dissolve that seasoning and really draw it into the meat, okay? You don't need to rub it. You don't need to pat it. And I like the honey rib rub over the top. More coarse, a little bit of sugar. Again, it's all about that sweetness there, okay? Now, normally I would leave this for about 20 minutes on the counter, okay? But not right now because this is only a 30-minute show. Season all your nooks and crannies, okay? Now, since we are cooking this on the Bullseye, I am going to rack this piece of meat. Sure, I'm going to redecorate this table here because I don't want people telling me that I was contaminating, making a mess, because I ain't that guy. So now I can take this pork butt, a little more competition rub, all over, and a little more Rossaruskis. Again, just like Chef John, I like to let this sit in the fridge.
That's right.
For a couple hours. Okay? Let all of that seasoning kind of melt in there. Okay?
Chef Greg,
Just
your
like
mic's
that.
going in and out a little bit. Yeah, try to get up top. Try to connect it up top.
So frustrating.
So frustrating. But guys,
Can you
give
hear
us
me?
a like.
Can you
Give
see
us a
me?
like.
Do I look good?
You
Is
look
that better,
great.
John? Is that
You
better?
sound
You
great.
sound me better?
Yeah. And you got 600 people watching, Chef Greg.
600 people. God, smash that share button. Let's get this over 1,000.
Let's
And
do
if we
it.
get this over 1,000, we'll do something. But first, we got to get over 1,000, and then we'll share a hashtag,
Yeah.
and maybe we do something cool.
All right, so let's share this. 3, 2, 1,
Smash it. All right, so you can already see, Sherpa, get in there. See how that seasoning is really starting to kind of soak in there and
Yes.
melt and dissolve? That's what you want. Okay, now I know we cut the fat cap off. I'm a fat down kind of guy. Because magically, that cap is not going to melt and make that meat moist. You don't need that fat. It just makes a mess of your grill, makes a mess of the pit. And then when you go to pull your pork, I want all those tasty bits in there, just like that. It's that simple.
Yes.
Now, if you don't have mustard or molasses, you can also use a little bit of that recteq gourmet barbecue sauce as a binder. Okay? It's like seasoning glue. That's all you're looking for. But look at that, Sherp. This is a good-looking butt.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? We missed a little spot right here. Where were you on that one, Sherp? So we're going to kind of get in there. Okay? Seasoning everywhere. That's it. That simple. Any good questions coming in, John?
Well, we have a top fan, Valerie Carmody, saying, let that seasoning percolate.
You got to let it drip, drip, drip.
That's right.
Miss Valerie. Now, she's going to be keeping us all safe because she did just receive her second vaccine from COVID. So,
Oh,
Valerie,
I
thank
love
you for
it.
being a hero on the front lines, keeping us safe out there. She actually works out at the VA. Valerie is one of our recteq alumni.
Yes, she is.
Killing it out there,
Mhm.
preaching the recteq gospel, preaching the barbecue choir.
Hallelujah.
You know what's up with that pork butt girl?
That's right.
That's what I'm talking about. Valerie is awesome. Super nice lady. If ever you're in and around the recteq area, hit her up. You can follow her. God, I can't remember your Instagram handle. Sorry, Valerie. I apologize. Go ahead and drop that down below so all these people can give you a follow,
That's
too, because
true.
you cook some delicious stuff. But I'm thirsty, John. That's a lot of talking.
It
I
sure
mean, I've had
was.
2 days off, I mean, I got to kind of get back in the swing of things.
Chef Greg, we got a question from top fan Kevin Bomber. He asked,
What's up,
if
Kevin?
you left the cap on, would you get a lot more flare-ups on the Bullseye?
You could. It depends how fatty that fat cap is. Since I'm actually going to cook this in a pan, we're getting ahead of ourselves. I'm not going to have that problem. But I'm not a fan of fat cap on brisket and pork because I want to get that flavor on the meat, and especially those out there that I talk on the phone, they actually take that fat cap and throw it away. Well, you put smoke, you put seasoning on that fat cap, you're going to take it and throw it away. Why? Why not take those crusty bits of meat, that caramelized meat, and put it back into your pulled pork? It's going to elevate the flavor game, okay? So we're going to cook this, like I said, on the RTB380 Bullseye. We're setting at 225 degrees. Now, again, this grill is smoking. Is it billowing smoke? Nope. Is it making a mess? Nope. Okay, I started with a nice clean grill. Make sure you get in there with, clean your vents from time to time with a wooden skewer or toothpick. Also, the lip right here of your grill, give that a little bit of a clean every now and then. Scrape it off. Now, I'm going to put this in a pan, like I said, just like that. I've got a foil pan on a rack. That way, I'm not going to get any of that fat dripping into the bottom of that grill.
Good.
Now, if this was a larger piece of meat, I could put this pan right on that heat diffuser. I'll add, a little bit of liquid in there, and then put the meat right on the grate. But look, done. Plenty of room for 2 pork butts, easily 1 large brisket, massive spatchcock turkeys. But again, any liquid or any fat is going to drip in that pan, and we're cooking at 225. Sherpa, again. To keep an eye on that, we're going to go ahead and put that probe in here, and we're going to kind of forget about it.
Chef Greg, what pellets are we burning?
Man, we got those Kingsford hickory pellets because I want some flavor. I want really, really, really deep smoke. So hickory pellets go on that Bullseye. Now check it out, Sherp. We're cooking at 225. That set point is 225. I can press that temp display. We're at 39 degrees. Why? Because that pork butt was cold. At about 160 degrees, we're going to go ahead and wrap it. But Sherp, don't go nowhere. Because on this grill, this beautiful in-stock RT590, okay, retails for $8.99, is a 4-year warranty, 30-pound hopper, stainless steel all over, 304 stainless steel fire pot. Boom.
Ooh.
I got another pork butt right there. Now, we are cooking at 325 degrees.
Yes.
We put this butt on there right about 9:15, 20 after 9. Jody put it on. Look at how tasty that looks. Okay. Now, for me, I would probably let this go another maybe 30 minutes or so.
Okay.
And then we would wrap it up. But not today because we're going to wrap it now, but I'm going to get ready for the wrap. Okay. Low and slow, hot and fast. So, yeah, 6 hours, 325. Let it go for about 3.5 hours. Wrap it up another 2 hours. You're good to go. Chef John, you got a good question, buddy?
Hey, I got 2 good questions coming at you. The first one is, what about injection? How do you feel about injection?
So, all right, we'll talk about this before I make a mess with that aluminum foil. Injection's great for a lot of things. Now, this is easy peasy week, right? Back to basics barbecue. Do you have to inject a pork butt to get great flavor? Absolutely not. Can you impart subtle flavors into that pork butt by injecting? Absolutely. But by and large, pork butts are probably the easiest traditional barbecue meats to cook because there's so much fat in them that it's going to yield a super moist end result. And since we're going to technically overcook this pork butt, it's going to be super tender anyway. But like I said, for competition pork butts, I do inject, but for backyards, I don't because they're already delicious. Chef John, you got any good question?
This one comes from Tom Quinn. He says, will you be spritzing?
I will not be spritzing. This is easy back to basics week.
Okay. Top fan Crystal Field Kleins asks, would you use a pan in the other grills?
I would not, because you have that drip pan. It's going to catch all that juice right out the drip bucket. Sometimes, some barbecue teams do use foil pans under their foods because they want to keep their drip pans clean. It's just a preference thing, okay? It really is just a preference thing. So I'm going to grab 2 really big pieces of aluminum foil, okay? And it helps when it's not windy outside.
Yeah, that's always a plus.
Now, I know you guys think I'm a superhero, and I am, but I'm not dumb. So I'm going to put some cotton gloves on.
There you go.
Okay, because I'm going to go into that grill, and I'm going to put that pork butt right here. Okay, but like I said, I've got to glove up because you're not going to go in there with reckless abandon and be unsafe.
So Chef Greg,
can't do it. Yeah,
top fan Valerie Carmody asks, so no fluid is needed in the pan. If not on the deflector?
Yeah, I mean, if you're cooking at 225, it's not going to get hot enough to warrant that. Now, if I was doing a hot and fast pork butt, I would absolutely probably put some liquid in there. But is it necessary? Nope, not today. All right, come on in here, Sherps. Again, normally I would let this go maybe another 30 minutes or so. It's almost looking perfect. Good caramelization, good crispiness. That bark started to form. And again, this is only 3 hours in. It's a little breezy out here today.
Yeah, it is. That is looking delicious, though, Chef Greg.
But again, you can see all that caramelization, those crispy bits. Now, this would normally be that fat cap that Jody cut off because he knows I'm not a fat cap guy. Appreciate Jody with the solid assistance. We were getting some stuff for a photo shoot today, and he was nice enough to put that on for me. All right, so we're going to grab a little bit of that recteq gourmet barbecue sauce. And this is just going to add a little more moisture, a little more flavor to this pork butt. You don't need a lot, maybe a half cup or so. And when you wrap it, you got to treat it like a package. Now, since this does have a bone, you want to be careful you don't poke the foil. Okay? And that's why you're actually going to double it up. Some things in life you can't double up.
It's true.
You can double up the foil.
That's right. Now, Chef Greg, what temp did we pull this at, or how long has this been cooking since we pulled it?
All right, so we had this in the grill early this morning, about 9:15 or so, at 325. Around 165 degrees, this meat's going to go into the stall, which basically, if you're doing a low and slow cook, it might stall out for an hour or two. And what the stall is, it's evaporative cooling. Science, okay? So there is moisture in this meat. At some threshold, the moisture is going to come out and the meat's going to sweat, just like you guys when you go outside running when it's hot out, okay? That's how your body cools off. Same thing in the pork butt. That moisture is going to come out of the meat and sort of insulate the outside and prevent it from continuing the cooking process. So that's why the Texas Crutch aluminum foil, you can go ahead and wrap it and accelerate through the stall. So this is still going to stall, but it might not stall as long because we've wrapped it and we're at a higher temp, okay? Another fun fact for barbecue, once the meat hits an internal about 135 degrees, that protein's already coagulated, it's not going to absorb any more smoke. All you're doing at that point is developing more caramelization and more flavor to the outside, more color. You're not really going to get more smoke, okay? Now, I am going to put this in a pan because I have some liquid in there. I want that liquid to stay in the foil, so if I accidentally poke it, it's going to leak out. Not if it's in a pan. Plus, it makes moving meat in and out of the grill super simple. And we did have one already wrapped right here.
Oh, yeah. Just
like that. Bada bing, bada boom. God. Now, if your pork butt is looking a little dry throughout the cooking process, you can grab a little of that I can't believe it's not butter, just kind of mist the pork butt every little bit. Not necessary, but if you do get some dry spots, that'll help with that. Just like that. Chef John, what you got, buddy?
Now, Chef Greg, they're asking, have you ever sliced your pork butt like a steak instead of pulling it?
That's good, too. Now, if you're going to do that, I love pork steaks. I'll actually go to the butcher, and they'll run that pork butt through a bandsaw because it's much easier to cut through bone with a bandsaw. If you're looking to get sliced pork, right, or chopped, we're going to get into finished cooking textures here in a little bit. Typically, pork is done around 196. It's probe tender. What you want to do is grab your instant read thermometer or a toothpick, and you want to see how it goes through that piece of meat with no resistance. That's what you want, okay? If it's tough, it's got to keep cooking. But you might slice or do chopped pork at about 190, but for pulled pork, you're going to go higher, typically 196. But if you get it to 200 degrees, I can guarantee you that thing is going to be fall off the bone, super tender. And again, let this rest for like an hour or two, perfectly fine. If you're looking to hold it longer, you can put this in a cooler. It will stay hot. Chef John will tell you, hours.
Yes, sir.
Hours it'll stay cold, or hot. Hot in a cooler.
That's right, and that's the
Cold
best.
beer.
And that's really the best way to bring it down for me, Chef Greg. Every time, put it in the cooler.
Yeah,
let
and
it
if you're
rest.
overcooking that pork anyway, I mean, you're gonna shred it. So the biggest mistake you can make when making pulled pork is not cooking it enough to get tender. Right? Once it's wrapped, it's gonna stay moist for a good while. You don't need to get crazy with it and try to pull it off right at the right temp. You got a probe in there. With the Lifestyle Series, the 340, the 590, 700, 2500, you can check that out on your recteq app, okay? And that way you know what's going on. The Bullseye, you got to check in, but you know, low and slow, I'm going to let it go for about 8 hours, okay? And then wrap it up and see what happens. But we're going to go ahead and unwrap this bad boy.
Ooh, yeah. Now, Chef Greg, which do you prefer, aluminum foil or butcher paper when it comes to wrapping?
Always a foil guy, okay? Always a foil guy. People use paper, that's fine, okay? I like foil. Got a little crazy when we wrap this up, but look at that pork butt right there.
Man, that looks delicious.
That's the good right there, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Now again, we prepped this a little bit differently because we were doing a recipe shoot for some competition barbecue, so we kind of cut this one a little bit differently. Let me see if I can't get this out without falling apart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's tender, buddy. But again, this is going to show you that money muscle right here. I can't even pick it up without falling apart, John. All right, you see that bone right here? That right there, clean bone.
Yes, sir.
That's good barbecue.
That's real good
This muscle
barbecue.
right here, check this out. This is going to be that money muscle. You slice that up, that right there is the good. Okay? But you can see how just butter tender this is.
Yes.
Like, it's literally just falling apart in my hands. Are we getting crazy with it? No, we're not. Okay? I like moderate chunks in my pulled pork. Now, if you're eating your pulled pork, I'm going to put this bone back in here. Okay? Give it a taste test. That's good. But maybe it's lacking a little bit of sweet, a little bit of heat. Sure, but go in there for a bite. You can take a little bit more of your rub. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
You can take a little bit of your sauce. Boom. I think our barbecue sauce is like a salad dressing for your meat. Just kind of give it a little bit of toss. I'm not looking to like go crazy and overpower it, but look how nice and moist and delicious that is.
So nice.
That's good pulled pork. Chef John, you want to come in here and eat some of this?
I sure do. Hey, top fan Carl Foster asks, can you unwrap and then put it back on the grill to get the bark a little crisp?
Absolutely, you can. Great question. I got a good girthy piece of meat there for Chef John.
Yeah.
But again, to recap, we're going 225 on the RTB 3D Bullseye.
Oh man, that's so good.
Tons of flavor.
Packed full of flavor. Barbecue sauce is just like an added attraction to that.
It's just like a little bit of a tease at the end of a, you know, that meat, that acid gives you a little tingle on there.
Yeah, a little supporting cast.
But again, pulled pork, super simple. Start with a 10-pound pork butt. Cut that fat cap off. You don't need it. Just trust me. 225. Let it go for about 8 to 9 hours.
Man.
Wrap it up with a little bit of that recteq gourmet barbecue sauce. Okay? Maybe another 3 to 4 hours once it's wrapped. You're going to look for probe tenderness. You're going to poke that pork butt and make sure it's probe tender. Anything over 196 and inserting super easily, you're going to be good to go. If you're impatient like me, you can go hot and fast. Again, cut that fat cap off. We rub that down with some molasses, some mustard, some Casanova's competition rub, some Rosaruski's honey rib rub. About 3.5 hours, you're going to get a really good color. Wrap it up tight. About another 2 to 2.5 hours. Let it rest. 6 hours pulled pork. It's that simple.
Super
The
simple.
longer you let this rest, honestly, the better. I would say no less than 45 minutes to an hour, but this can rest on the counter for 2 hours. It'll still be hot. If you've got to take it with you somewhere, put it in a cooler. It's going to stay hot for a super long time. For this recipe and more, make sure you jump over to recteq.com/lunchbreak. Put your email address in there. But go ahead and do us a favor. We have a new recipe section on the website right now. So jump over to recteq.com, check out that recipe tab, and let us know what you think about the layout, the pictures, the functionality. Now, the recipes in the app haven't updated just yet. They will shortly, so you'll see some changes there over the next couple days or so. But yeah, that's so good, John.
Yeah, so good, Chef Greg. Killed it.
I mean, some people say you can eat too much barbecue. Not around here.
This is exactly what
Brisket,
I'm talking about.
ribs, pulled pork, all day long. It's back to basics week here at recteq. And we got back to basics going on all week long. The girls are barbecuing to show you how to do some delicious stuff with chicken. Jody's got, I think, ribs on Thursday.
Yeah, buddy.
We're going to do brisket on Friday. No, we're actually doing, back that up. We're going to do ribs on after hours, brisket on Thursday, and then we're going to make hash on Friday. If you don't know what I'm talking about, make sure you join us for hash on Friday because it's going to be really good. But before that, stay up with Chef John for Late Night Munchies on Thursday. It's at 11 o'clock on Instagram where he shows you that sweet tooth. What you got going on this Thursday?
I don't want to tell them. I want them to tune in and find out. It's going to be awesome.
Okay. But again, pick up a pork butt. Now, if you're cooking pork butt like this for 2 people, that's fine because I can shred some and not dress it with the barbecue sauce. Great for tacos.
Ooh, yeah.
Great for stir fries, fajitas. Fantastic. You can also use them for enchiladas. I put them on a pizza. You can make a barbecue pizza.
Yes.
But anything you would use ground beef, you can sub out pulled pork. So pulled pork sloppy joes or sloppy johns.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay? They're really good. You want to do a loose meat sandwich like that? Why not? You got the best piece of meat right there. So for me, 10-pound piece of meat, have plenty of leftovers. You can freeze it in smaller quantities. You have a vacuum sealer as well. It's a great way to do that, reheat it. But Chef John, you can't tell me any more questions because I got the iPad right here. All right, so make sure you guys smash the share button, give us some love, like and love this video because the more you guys interact with us, the more we get to bring it to you guys. We have tons of amazing content lined up for you guys in 2021. It's going to be the year of the recteq. I'm calling it right now.
That's it.
It's going to be the year of the recteq. Absolutely. But anyway, from all of us here at the recteq Worldwide Headquarters in beautiful Evans, Georgia, God bless you. God bless the United States. And we will see you at the recteq. What's up, Bobby? Jason, appreciate you guys tuning in. Marcus Wood, happy belated birthday, buddy. Douglas, ooh, good for nachos. You know it. Barbecue pork stuffed pretzels. Valerie, you're out of control. You're a maniac.
Live your life the way you like.
Kirk, what's up? Steven, egg
lifestyle.
rolls. That's what I'm talking about. John Starcevich, how you doing, buddy? Brian.